I hear you got questions for me. Come on, I'm ready. Let's go.
Welcome to Insights with PT. All right, Pastor T, the people want to know. I have tattoos and piercings, and the church aunties and uncles give me dirty looks when I'm in church. Do tattoos and piercings truly define me as a Christian?
First things first. I don't think we should be giving dirty looks in church. Yeah, that's one. It's a place of fellowship, and we're supposed to be one family. But when it comes to tattoos, I don't have a problem with tattoos. And I don't believe that tattoos define you as a Christian. Because it's really cultural. It's really cultural. Here in America, tattoos are ways of life. It's part of life. Do you understand? Even in Nigeria, for the old people, my mother had a tattoo.
Really?
Yeah.
What was her tattoo say?
Yeah, her name. It was right there on her hand.
Visible, just like
very,
that?
Very visible. Very visible. Do you understand? So I don't see anything wrong with it. Do you understand? I believe in their days, they did it just to be able to identify who is who. More so when probably their dad had so many wives and so many children were born about the same time. So everybody had to be identified one way or the other. So she had a tattoo and it's okay. So when people have tattoos there, most times they have it because of something special. Do you understand? So in our home, my kids have tattoos. And honestly, it's not a problem to me. I don't think my wife likes it, but it's okay. All I say is that serve God with your heart, and serve humanity. And I think that's what God is looking at.
I like that. So then you mentioned, people have tattoos, whether it's like dedicated to maybe a special person or a special date, but is there specific like tattoos or piercings that, kind of shy away from who you are as a Christian, or it's just all that matters in the heart?
Yeah, there are some tattoos that they are cult tattoos, cult, and I don't think we should get into that because as believers, we really shouldn't be in a cult. That's number one. Number two, any tattoo that we do, I want to say that it should glorify God and then be able to edify man. And it should be as simple as possible. For instance, someone has lost a loved one and they just want to keep their memories, so they can write their tattoos on it, on their arm or somewhere. And some people can say, you know what, I want to put my birthday there. The only thing I say to people is that don't put your boyfriend's name or your girlfriend's name on your tattoo, because if you break up, then what's going to happen to the tattoo?
Cover up, that's
So please be careful so that when eventually you meet the man or the woman, they don't start asking questions. Who is Daisy? Who is this?
Who's Rebecca? Who's Christine?
So that's it.
Okay. All right. So, we're talking about culture, and being in today's culture, a lot of problems that get raised up is, our dressing. So what would you state as, modest dressing in the church?
I honestly, it's going to be difficult to start describing what a modest dress is, because that's what the Bible enjoins us to do. You ask yourself when you stand in front of the mirror, is my dressing provocative? Do you understand? Will my dress be a distraction to people, or what? Look at the way they are dressed. There's no way anybody can see you now and say, hey, this is provocative or this is not modest. Do you understand? These are the things, and we have not been called to live two lives. Do you understand? Yeah. So it's not like, because I'm meeting PT today, I'm having this interview, let me dress like this, but tomorrow, let me dress, and all that stuff, So what I say to people is that, look, why put on a dress when 80% of the time you are pulling your dress down? Just get the right one size, length, and then let's do it like that, And that's, honestly, I believe that's the way God wants us to live our lives. Yeah. Do you understand?
And then, the Bible talks about, as Christians, come as you are, come freely. But I guess people sometimes, more seasoned Christians, say that that's more of an excuse and that we should be better, like, prepared in terms of, modesty and dressing. So that specific verse, do you think that we should use that as like a crutch, or again, just giving the advice that you give, just be modest, see what's in your heart and not be as provocative when coming to church?
Yeah. If the Bible says that we should come as we are, it didn't say we should stay as we are. Do you understand? So when Lazarus rose up from the dead, Jesus said that they should go and lose him. Do you understand? He came with grave clothes. Do you understand? When we come to church, we come with grave clothing, and so many ways of the world. But after a while that we have had the word, that we know God better, then we should be able to start changing. Do you understand? I'm not asking you to dress like a nun or anything like that. That's not the issue. But I'm saying that if you come to God the way you are, after a while, people should see changes in us. Not just the way we dress alone, but the way we talk to other people, the way we do things. Do you understand? It should be able to change. Don't stay the same way. It's only a child that comes one way and stays the same way. Yeah. Do you understand? So as believers, God expects us to grow on a daily basis, and that growth should manifest in every area of our lives, not just in dressing alone, even in the way we speak.
I like that. So then, in terms, going back to like the whole modesty thing, as we're developing as Christians, is it our job or our duty to kind of tell other Christians who are not quite yet there in the faith that they should dress a certain way or they should act a certain way? Is that our responsibility as Christians, or what do you think?
It depends on my relationship with you. Do you understand? If I have a good relationship with you, I can say to you, this you're dressing, you can do one or two things about it. But apart from that, even at that, I have to be patient enough for you to grow, to mature to a point that you realize that this is not right for me. Do you understand? If you bring a 1-year-old there, a 1-year-old can be stark naked and walk into this room and be walking around. And the 1-year-old will not say anything wrong with it. Yeah. Why? Because that person is 1-year-old. But I'm telling you, that same child at 5 years old will not do that. Because after a while, there's a reality that will have come in and say, I think I'm naked. I think this is not right. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's the same way for every believer. But not that we now get to church and it's my job to be telling everybody this is the way to dress. It's like trying to mama and papa people in church. Honestly, a fashion police. And I don't think that's the main reason why we've come to church. We've come to church to serve God. And after a while, people pick things up without even telling them. People pick things up. I want to believe that everybody, we all have brains. We can think, we know what is right, and we know what. Now, don't forget there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of peer pressure, There was a time I went out with my wife, and I said to her, I think we were at a beach somewhere, and I said to her, I pity the teenagers of today. And she said, why? I said, because the pressure is a lot. And the truth is that the pressure is a lot. If you go to any major store, you can't see any dress that does not leave your belly open. Yeah. There is none. So which means constantly for you as a Christian, it's either you buy an underwear that you put in there, before you put on that dress, or you are constantly adjusting dresses. So I know the pressure is there because even out there in the malls, in the shops, they've already restricted you. Do you understand? So unless you don't want to buy anything, unless you start making your dresses yourself, do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But there are still ways that we can be modest without being provocative when we go out.
It's been so lovely talking with you, Pastor T, and I have more questions to ask for you, and I can't wait to ask these questions. And I know you all out there as well have questions, so don't forget to send your questions to insightswithpt@Jesus House Baltimore. And whenever you're free, I would love to meet up with you later to dive in, dig deep.
No problems, anytime.
All right.